morning friends and welcome to my channel. Today I'm gonna try together with you on camera the new Charlotte Tilbury foundation. I received the other day my order from Space NK. This is the site where from I purchased the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush foundation because we don't have this brand here in Czech Republic, and I put it back just to show you how nice, sleek packaging I received. So inside we have the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush foundation, and I love the packaging, the outer packaging, it's killing. And I have also ordered one of her lipsticks. It is the Hot Lips 2, and I have it in the shade In Love with Olivia. So yeah, I was debating between the Airbrush Flawless Foundation and the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation, but what sold me on this actual foundation are the ingredients. I've compared both ingredients and I've noticed that this has slightly better composition ingredients wise. So the foundation is infused with numerous anti-aging ingredients to promote younger looking skin. Formulated with Magic Replexium Serum, a complex of 2 patent peptides, the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation helps to reduce the appearance of wrinkles and encourage firmer skin, while CT Defense protects against pollution. Enriched with deeply hydrating moss cell tech, the foundation promotes long-lasting hydration. The benefits of this foundation: full coverage foundation with a matte finish, helps to minimize the appearance of wrinkles, delivers long-lasting hydration, protects against pollution, sweat-proof, waterproof and transfer resistant, does not require a primer. On their website, on the Space NK website, I see they have a total of 44 shades, and I match myself in the shade 3, neutral. To be honest, I've used the shade matcher from the Sephora.com website because I found that service to be genial to be able to find a shade for me, because there were a lot of shades that were appealing, that will be suitable for my skin tone, and they didn't. By the time this video will be up, which by the way we are now in the first half of October, I think my foundation drugstore review will be already up. And you might all wonder why I bought another foundation since I have so many drugstore foundations that I love. Well, the reason is that I always wanted to try one product from Charlotte Tilbury, and her quads seems to me too expensive, so I wanted to purchase something which is more budget friendly. By the way, this foundation retails for £34 and it's coming in a glass bottle. The packaging is really pretty. It's golden cap and everything is written here in golden print. By opening it, you see that you have a pump dispenser, which is my favorite way of dispensing foundation. So what we will do a swatch at this time. By the way, swatches like this, I hope it will match me, and later, after we will do our full face of makeup, I will check whether the foundation oxidizes or not. And I will use for my right side a foundation brush, and don't laugh about my foundation brush. This is a new acquisition from the AliExpress website, so I want to try to see how it applies this one. And for my left side of the face I will use the Trustly Beauty Blender. it looks that the shade will match me, hopefully. Okay, I think I need a mirror. Okay, it's a bit in the yellow side, but it spreads really well. This might be also the brush, and doesn't seem like it is a full coverage foundation, although I get quite nice over coverage. I don't know if you are able to tell. Guys, I haven't heard so great reviews about this foundation, and I was a bit torn about that, but just the fact that it contains skincare ingredients made me purchase it, because I know that my skin is acting really nice if I'm wearing a foundation that it is infused with good skincare ingredients. On my left side I will add a bit more, just because the sponge tends to absorb the product. Okay, I will add a quick second layer just to test if it is buildable. So, on my right side the foundation builds up really pretty and doesn't look cakey. And so it does on my left side. I think on the camera it looks that it's a bit more pale. Okay, I will add the concealer and then I will come back to set everything with the powder. And the concealer blends beautifully on the top of the foundation. I'm gonna set everything with a setting powder, and I'm using still the one from Maybelline that I used on my drugstore foundation wear test. That week was really fun for me to film. But I won't use the sponge, this time I will use the brush, because this foundation already dries down, so I don't need to apply too much of the setting powder. So it sinks already into the skin. And this is how the face is looking after I apply the foundation, the concealer, and I set it with a setting powder. Pretty nice. Now I will go offline and I will apply the rest of my face, and I will come back for final conclusion. But before we are going, I want to test if the foundation it does oxidize. So this is the old swatch and this is the new one. It is slightly oxidizing. Yeah, and actually being a bit lighter for my skin tone, I can take some advantage from the fact that it's oxidizing. Guys, I just want to show you something. I went to wash my hand with a regular soap and water, and the foundation doesn't want to come off. So yeah, this is a good sign. Okay, so I come back with a full face of makeup. Well, almost, because what I didn't apply is the lipstick, and I want to try also together with you the Charlotte Tilbury Hot Lips lipstick. I know that we are reviewing here a foundation, but because I've purchased also the lipstick, I want to show how it performs. Okay, I'm not really impressed with the lip liner. And now, just have a look on this gorgeous packaging. To be honest, I wanted to purchase the Pillow Talk, the one that is in her permanent line. I'm not sure if this is permanent or it's just a limited edition, and it's a bit more expensive, but I thought that the Pillow Talk would be a bit too dark for me, and I usually don't tend to reach for that type of shade, so I went instead and I purchased this In Love with Olivia shade from Hot Lips collection. I love the shade. It's kind of my lips but better situation. It's really creamy and has a really slight fragrance, some sweet fragrance. It might be vanilla, I'm not really positive about that because I suck on describing scent, but it's really creamy. So yeah, another luxurious lipstick that it will be added to my collection. And also I forgot to mention that while I was applying the Airbrush foundation, I also noticed a bit of a fragrance, but just a slight fragrance. For those of you who are not a really big fan of fragranced foundations, just keep in mind that. Okay, so right now I think I have 1 hour since I've applied the foundation. I didn't notice any change. So far I don't have any oil breaking through the foundation, but what I've noticed is that it's a bit sitting on my skin, and this is usually happening with the matte foundations, and also maybe because I've built it up. I added a second layer here on the chin area, and that might contribute to the sitting on the skin effect. But other than that, so far the foundation looks great. So this is how the foundation looks after 4.5 hours. I do have here more natural light. I only have turned on the ring light, so maybe you can see better how my face is looking. I'm a bit shiny on my T-zone and here on the cheeks, but I don't see that foundation has moved or separated whatsoever. Hi guys! We are here after wearing the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation for straight 13 hours. I will zoom in just a bit to see how my face looks like. I can tell you that of course I'm a bit shiny and the foundation is partially worn off from my nose, but it's interesting that I still have something left on my chin, even though today I was wearing a scarf, so I have problem with keeping foundation on my chin in normal conditions, but when I'm wearing a scarf then it's even a bit of a problem. Also, if you closely look on my pores, it's a bit noticeable that I'm wearing foundation. And also I have seen that it's a bit collected here. Strangely, not here, but here on this part. I think this is not the fault of the foundation, but just the fault that I was building it up. I think this foundation doesn't require to build it up. Being a full coverage foundation, you can go easily without any problem with the coverage that it offers you at the first application. You don't need to build it up by any means. I just wanted to build it for the sake of the testing, but this doesn't require so. Looking like this in these conditions after 13 hours of wear, I definitely can say that this foundation is a winner. Excepting the IT Cosmetics CC Plus SPF 40 stuff, no other foundation has ever resisted so much on my skin for such a long time and to look like it's looking at this moment. From my point of view, I have still enough coverage and my face looks perfect. I'm tempted to close the review here, but I want to test this foundation for 1 week, one straight week, and maybe at the end I will come with a final conclusion, because this foundation is infused with a lot of good skincare. So many people were saying in their reviews that they have noticed a smoothness of their fine lines and overall improved texture on the skin. And I noticed that I was speaking a lot on my phone today, and I was almost having no transfer on the phone. You have seen how difficult it was to remove the swatch from my hand. I had to use a oil-based makeup remover to get rid of the actual swatch. So from my point of view, this foundation is a winner. It's a really long-wearing product. To be honest, I was a bit afraid that I made a wrong choice and I didn't purchase the magic foundation about everybody is raving, because I didn't see such a good reviews for this foundation, and I thought that I made a bad decision. But now I'm happy that I purchased it. And also I like to mention that this lipstick, the Hot Lips in shade In Love with Olivia, it's also really good product. It is long wearing for being a cream formula. Usually matte lipsticks are more long wearing, but I wasn't expecting that this type of formula to be such a long wearing. So without any doubt, I can tell that I made a good investment on my first Charlotte Tilbury order. Guys, I have been wearing the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Airbrush foundation for 7 days in a row. I thought I will give it this test because I wanted to test more of this foundation and to have a solid review in the end of this video. I have used it only for 1 week, but I have noticed that my skin is a bit smooth. I didn't change anything on my skincare routine. I'm using the same products, but I have noticed that I don't have reduced appearance of wrinkles just because I don't have so many wrinkles. I have here on my forehead a more deep line, and other than that maybe some expression lines, but I have noticed that overall my skin is looking flawless. It's looking like I have done some good facial, let's say like this. On the first day when I applied a lot of foundation. It was a huge quantity. If you can think that a third of that quantity, it is enough to cover the entire face. It is extremely potent. It has extreme coverage. You don't need, or I don't need, to use the same amount of the foundation that I'm normally using with other foundations. And what I've noticed that is working best for my skin is to apply it directly with my hands. So I dab one drop here, one here, one here, a tiny drop. In this morning I have used it also together with this morning glow drops by Figs and Rouge, just to see how it works when I'm diluting it. But usually this is as much quantity that I need to cover my entire face. And then I just massage and spread with the bare hands. The warmth of the hands makes the foundation to melt easily onto my skin, and also doesn't look so visible on my pores, doesn't settle too much on my enlarged pores. So this is the way that I applied. But the most interesting thing about this foundation is the fact that I don't like how it looks on my skin when I freshly apply it. I think after a few hours, maybe 3 or 4, it starts to look better on me. Usually after 4 hours, I see that I have some oil, especially on my forehead, but also on my nose, that I need to pat or absorb. And if I need to do so, or if I have handy, I would also add a teeny layer of a pressed translucent setting powder, not loose. But what is most amazing about this foundation, and it is a claim that it doesn't have, is that the longer you wear it, it looks better. It looks like it refreshes itself, and this is something interesting because this claim is not among the claims that this foundation has. I know there is one foundation out there on the market that claims to do that. I think it is by Shiseido, if I'm not wrong. But what other people don't know, or I haven't seen on anyone speaking about this, I think, at least with my skin, with my type of skin, it does the same thing. So longer I wear it, better it looks on my skin. I haven't seen any other foundation that wears on this way on my skin. So yeah, those are my thoughts about the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. I think it is amazing foundation, and I think that you will either love it or hate it. Please let me know in your comments down below if you have tried this foundation, and if you did so, what are your thoughts? Do you love it or hate it? And let me know if you have tried other products from Charlotte Tilbury. Do you love this brand? Do you hate it? Do you think it worth the hype? That's it for today. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And also don't forget to subscribe before you leave if you are not already subscribed. And if you know someone who can benefit by watching this video, please share it with them. And other than that, stay tuned, be blessed, and I'll see you again really, really soon. Mwah.